then you ask yourself a very important question. And the question is the fourth N, which is, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? What do I really need in this confusing, conflicting, confronting situation? And it's a core need. Remember, we talked about core needs. So it's a core need. It's not, I need them to stop doing that. It's a core need. I need gentleness. I need to be heard and understood. I need kindness. I need cleanliness. I need space. I need sleep. I need to calm down. When you get connected to your core needs and you can give it a voice, you can be an advocate for it, you will become more empowered and you will master your emotions. And this is when you understand your core needs and can be an advocate for them and give them a voice. This is where we move into that nonviolent and heart-centered communication. And that will be in another module, 2 modules from now. Communicating to be heard and understood, communicating to create connection. The 4 N's, you have to be able to do that to get to your core needs so that then you can communicate from here. But you first have to connect inside with you from here in order to create that same type of communication and connection with another or others. So the 4 N's is valuable, a very valuable process. Incorporate it into your everyday life or into your life when conflict comes up. The other thing I talked about was boundaries, and boundaries is a huge subject. Creating healthy boundaries is so important, and we did not learn this from our family of origin. Typical boundary violations are things like yelling, and boundaries are bidirectional. Boundaries are how we treat people and how we allow people to treat us. And so things that are boundary violations are things like yelling, ridiculing, making fun of somebody, lying, controlling or manipulating, interrupting, being sarcastic, doing things without another's permission. That's huge. Going into somebody's purse, somebody's room, listening in on somebody's phone call or emails. That's a boundary violation. This is about creating a new culture of honoring, really honoring each other, and healthy boundaries, which most of us were not exposed to because our parents weren't exposed to them. So that's what we got taught, was non-healthy boundaries or boundary violation as a normal way of living. So this is something we need to learn. The main point, though, is that people don't violate our boundaries. We allow our boundaries to be violated, and we treat people how to teach us or to treat us. And what happens is when we do not have healthy boundaries, it's really literally self-abandonment. Boundaries are nothing more than feelings. And starting to navigate in the world, and it's a heightened awareness of what really is affecting us. And then learning how to come to our rescue and be there for us. In this class, somehow we use standing in line a lot. And in a boundary violation would be telling somebody, hurry up ahead of us. A complete stranger, too. I mean, we can ask very kindly. That would be great. However, being able to just be centered in our own self and be present and allow life basically to unfold. That's one example. Another example would be when we do have to speak up for ourselves and say, that doesn't really work for me. What I really need is that kind of a thing. But we learned self-abandonment from childhood. Okay, I'm just going to read this because it's pretty complex, I would say. From childhood, we were told we weren't supposed to feel the way we feel. It's not okay to feel the way we feel. Don't feel that way. Oh, don't feel bad. I still do this to people. I hope you're feeling better. We always go to solutions instead of allowing people to just feel what they are feeling. So we're all culturally wanting to get away from these uncomfortable feelings. You create healthy boundaries for yourself by you validating what is going on in your inner world, but you need to tune into it. So this is greater awareness of your inner world and becoming, it's a heightened state of awareness, I guess you could say. So if you're agitated when you're standing in line, just notice the agitation. You don't have to do anything about it. If somebody is literally violating you and causing you discomfort, then you have to do it. You may have to do something about it. But inflicting pain on others and being inconsiderate, that is a boundary violation. I love the way Melanie Pia put it. Boundaries, healthy boundaries, and I don't know where I have it written here, but it is for, oh, here we go. Boundaries protect and contain. So boundaries will protect you from others' offenses, but boundaries will also contain you from offending others. And this is truly, when we can tune into that, this boundary, this beautiful boundary of protection, but also containment, to create a less offensive world, then we are mastering our emotions. When we start getting agitated, we just bring spaciousness and compassion into that when necessary. If we really do need to reach out and speak and let people know, give them a piece of our mind, as I had mentioned before, but really what we want to do is learn how to give them a piece of our heart and create healthier boundaries for ourselves. All right. Boundaries and barricades. How have you made barricades in your life? So boundaries are fluid, they're flowing, they're open-hearted, they're compassionate. Barricades are walls and they disconnect you from people. Barricades are black and white thinking. Ignore or steamroll people. My way or the highway thinking. Or it's denial, not even dealing with the situation. Or avoidance. Or also, barricades are typically created from when you're in a triggered state or a highly emotional state and you haven't processed these emotions. Always, when you have uncomfortable feelings, before you approach a person, take time to do the 4Ns so that you're coming from a more centered place when you go in and speak to them about these challenging situations that you're having. So healthy boundary helpers are feel these feelings. Tune into your inner world and feel them. Uncover the unmet need. Stay open. Maybe what you're perceiving in the story that you're making up isn't really what's going on. Compassion goes a long way. Also, equal mattering is a healthy boundary helper. Get beyond blame. That's another healthy boundary helper. Get to know your triggers and your inner child. Always ask permission. We are not a culture of asking permission. We take and get and grab. That's what our culture is more of. Get what you can get instead of gentle, calm. May I suggest something? Before you say, well, you know what I think. You know what I think you should do? Can I suggest something? Would you like me to suggest something? It's a whole different way of navigating interpersonal relationships in a much more loving and honoring way. Stop telling others what to do. And can you think of any more in this moment? All right. The last component that I talked about was heart-centered communication. How to handle conflict in a way that creates connection instead of separation. If you are a yeller, learn not to yell. I have a beautiful story. A man that I was with, I was a yeller back then, and I would yell, and he gave me the biggest gift. He said, I can't hear you when you yell. And that little girl inside me, the reason why she was yelling was because she wanted to be heard and understood. And that was the greatest gift he gave me. I can't hear you when you yell. Because I wanted to be heard and understood, and that's what was causing the yelling. And I stopped yelling, and I learned how to communicate from my heart because I wanted him to hear what I was saying. And that's what you want. You want people to hear what you're saying. 2 modules from now, I will be doing the heart-centered communication. The next module that's starting, I have great things planned for that, is manifesting more pleasure. This one is mastering your emotions. Remember the 4 N's. Get to know those feelings: sad, mad, glad, fear, numb, and shame. Understand that there's integration between the 3 different brains: the reactive brain, the emotional brain, and the higher thinking brain. They're all very important. Give your emotions spaciousness. Give them a voice. Don't run from them. And then you'll release the armor out of your body, and you'll have a more sensually alive life, and your heart will open. All right, I hope this summary helped to guide you in mastering your emotions. I'm enjoying having you in class. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.